Welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report. I'm Chase Sr. Here's what we're talking about on today's show. There is a concerning Christian McCaffrey injury update going into Week 1, Monday Night Football against the New York Jets. And also, Kyle Shanahan spoke with the media on this Thursday. He provided some wild details in the aftermath of the Ricky Pearsall shooting, so be sure to stay tuned to that. I also want to say thank you to all of the real ones for hitting that subscribe button right here on the Niners Report. This is the largest independently run Niners channel on YouTube. It is an honor for me to be in front of the camera, on the microphone, talking Niners every single day with some of the smartest and most passionate fans in all of sports, and that includes you, everybody who watches this show. Yesterday, we surpassed 138,000 subscribers, and we're already 341 people past that number. So if you want Niners shows that are informative, insightful, entertaining, thought-provoking, that involve you, the Niner fan, hit that subscribe button and join the movement. As for the Christian McCaffrey injury, he is going to be limited in practice due to an Achilles and calf issue. As we know, the reigning NFL Offensive Player of the Year has missed the last couple of weeks because of a calf injury. But because it is game week, the NFL makes it mandatory for teams to put players on an injury report. So now we kind of officially know what this ailment is for Christian McCaffrey, or it could be that an Achilles injury has also been bothersome for Christian McCaffrey. So I have to pose this question, and this immediately came to mind. Due to the severity of a soft tissue injury combined with an Achilles problem, is his Week 1 status in jeopardy? Because anytime you hear Achilles, you have to take extra precaution. You know what happened last year with Dre Greenlaw? He was dealing with that Achilles tendonitis for a long time. In the Super Bowl, he popped his Achilles. And Christian McCaffrey this offseason just signed a new deal, got a lot of guaranteed money. The contract extension carries him through 2027. He's so valuable to what the Niners do on the offensive side of the football, running it and receiving it. He's been the Niners' offensive MVP the last year and a half since the trade. You can't risk him getting severely injured. And an Achilles problem for a 28-year-old running back could be devastating for his overall career. So the Achilles can go at any point if you're not careful. And from 2023, remember how great Christian McCaffrey was, but the wear and tear on his body. You look at his numbers from a year ago, in depth, he led the NFL in touches with 272 carries and 67 catches. He was the NFL Offensive Player of the Year and top 5 in MVP voting for a reason. He ran for nearly 1,500 yards. He had 564 receiving yards, 5.5 yards per carry, 8.4 yards per catch. He was tied for first in the National Football League non-quarterbacks in touchdowns scored with 21. And his yards per game, 91 on the ground, 35 through the air. And last year, at the end of the year, he was dealing with a calf injury. So in 2023, to recap all of this, he leads the NFL in touches, led the NFL in rushing yards, tied for first in touchdowns, was NFL Offensive Player of the Year. That got him on the Madden cover. And throughout this summer, he's been injured throughout pretty much the entire duration of training camp. Now, I know he said a couple of weeks ago, if it was a regular season game, I would be able to play. But do the Niners feel the same way about this? I'm concerned with the calf and Achilles combination, because that is not an injury you want to mess around with. And McCaffrey has a little bit of an injury history. He comes into the league, first-round pick out of Stanford, where he was just an electric return man, running back, and receiver. And he was able to impress right from the jump with Carolina. He plays 16 games as a rookie with 10 starts. Year 2, 16 games, 16 starts. 2019, 16 games, 16 starts, and All-Pro that year. But then in 2020, injured his shoulder, 3 games, 3 starts. In 2021, injured his ankle, 7 games, 7 starts. For the Niners and the Panthers in 2022, he played 17 games with 16 starts. The only game he did not start was right after the trade against Kansas City. And in 2023 last year, he did miss one game because of a calf injury, but was incredible. 16 games, 16 starts. Folks, for his career, 91 career games and 84 starts. But remember, that calf issue last year, I thought impacted McCaffrey in a way where he wasn't quite the same player with quite the same giddy-up in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl as compared to much of the year when he was able to stay healthy and he was such a focal point for this offense. And really, when you think about what he's done for the Niners since the trade, it goes down as one of the best trades in the history of the National Football League. And outside of quarterbacks, he's probably been the best skill player in the league. He was rewarded with that contract. He earned it, but there is a risk that comes with paying an older running back with this much wear and tear, especially coming off a year in which he led the league in touches. Now, a lot of people are probably panicking in the comment section, and you're posing this question, Chase, can the Niners still win without Christian McCaffrey? The answer is yes. Christian McCaffrey isn't going to take away from the Niners' abilities to win this football game and be successful on the offensive side of the football. And I'll tell you this, running back Jordan Mason, most improved player throughout training camp, has added pass catching to his arsenal, runs hard, physically, decisively, good balance, good vision, a one-cut runner. It seems as though anytime he gets his hands on the football, he's running for 5.5 yards and carrying the pile. And he's the best player on the Niners and one of the best players across the league that people don't yet know about. If he had more ample opportunities to carry the pill for other squads across the NFL, I think that he would be a very, very productive running back. So I'll ask you this question. Can the Niners beat the Jets if Christian McCaffrey does not play? Type W for win, L for lose. Let me know right now down in the comment section. Coming up next here on the show, Kyle Shanahan met with the media on this Thursday afternoon on September 5th. He provided some wild updates in the aftermath of the Ricky Pearsall shooting. And a couple of days after getting shot in the chest and nearly dying, Ricky Pearsall was on the practice field today with his teammates. Not in uniform, but still on the practice field walking around. I think that he should lead the Niners out of the tunnel on Monday Night Football. That would be electric. Today's 49ers Report is sponsored by our friends at Game Time. I love going to sporting events, and as the host of the 49ers Report, you know I love football. I got chills when I walked into Allegiant Stadium on Sunday in Las Vegas for USC LSU, a top 25 matchup. That game came down to the wire. For a moment, I thought we were going into overtime, but USC able to come through with the clutch victory. And I had tremendous seats. It was the largest event in the history of Allegiant Stadium, and I was there thanks to our friends at Game Time. What time is it? Game Time. If you're looking for the best seats at the lowest price guaranteed, Game Time has you covered. You can't only get sporting event tickets. You can get concerts, comedy shows, theater events, and more. You can see the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. And you can access your tickets right from your phone. And if you want to resell your tickets, you can do that as well. If you're looking to go to a Niners game this year, it is a loaded home slate at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. There are plenty of tickets available for multiple different price points. And one of my favorite aspects of this app is being able to see the vantage point and the price point from the seats that you will purchase. If you want the aerial view and you're very particular about which yard line you want to sit at, 40-yard line, or you want to sit 300 level to get the bird's eye view of the game behind the end zone for the all-22 look, you can simply do that with this feature right here. If you want to go to a San Francisco Giants game, the Giants just giving Matt Chapman a large contract extension, you want to see a great Giant in action, you can go to Oracle Park and get those tickets as well. Be sure to check out Game Time Picks. Curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater, and more. I love the all-in pricing tool. You can toggle this feature, which shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. First purchase only. Create an account, redeem the code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. To our Ricky Pearsall update. So, for those of you not familiar, what a wild Saturday it was. Pearsall was shot in Union Square, San Francisco. And he was shot after an autograph signing right by his car. And the person who shot him identified him for having a Rolex watch, tried to take that Rolex watch. Ricky Pearsall fought him back, and there was a struggle for the gun. The person charged, a 17-year-old teenager, has been charged with attempted murder and assault with the semi-automatic weapon and second-degree robbery. He also was shot, according to reports, in his hand, and according to reports, he shot himself. Now, Kyle Shanahan was speaking with the media today, and he provided some insane details and updates in the aftermath of what transpired. Shanahan said he talked to people in the emergency room who told him that 2 out of 100 people usually survive that shooting. Pearsall was also shot in the chest, 2 inches under a tattoo with prayer hands. He then told Shanahan after he got shot that he thinks that he can play against the New York Jets on Monday. That's wild. That's resiliency. That's toughness. That's dog. And thankfully, Ricky Pearsall is okay. And those details are just nutty. Shanahan also said on Saturday that the team was assuming the worst for a while because there were some questions about what was going on with Pearsall after he did get shot. And as for his injury recovery, he's going to take it easy for about a week to avoid working up a sweat just because of that wound there. And then he'll be able to start his rehab. The bullet passed through his chest clean. And you think about your chest, a lot of stuff going on there, right? And it just went right through with the smallest amount of harm possible. All of this, wild, crazy, remarkable. It's a blessing. So glad that Ricky Pearsall is okay. For all of us in the San Francisco 49ers, it certainly puts things in perspective. His NFL career has not gotten off to a great start. Shoulder injury in camp, hamstring injury in camp, and then he gets shot. But here's to hoping that Pearsall is going to be able to have a successful recovery, a great NFL career, and he can get better from all of this adversity. The 49ers today also naming their team captains. Here they are here to my right. Nick Bosa, Kyle Juszczyk, Trent Williams, George Kittle, Fred Warner, Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey. All vets, really, outside of Purdy, who is in year 3. This is a veteran-laden team with some incredible players on this roster. A QB2 update. This might come as a surprise for some people. Brandon Allen has been named the backup quarterback behind Brock Purdy for Week 1 against the New York Jets. If you watch the preseason, Josh Dobbs did look better. In practice, though, Brandon Allen was a little bit more crisp, and I still thought that Brandon Allen performed very well in the preseason. I was pleasantly surprised with what the backups did throughout preseason play. We covered a lot here on the show. This is what we do. This is the standard for Niners Talk right here on YouTube. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Videos coming your way every single day.